Hey guys, it's Ellen here and it's Floral Friday. We're doing Floral Friday practice again. Couple of brushes. Talk about how to use the brush, how to make the movement of the brush, make the flower that you desire. I go over this step by step. There's no traceable. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And please hit the bell notification button to know my tutorials are up. Also, check out my Patreon. I have ad-free videos, traceables, reference photos, exclusive tutorials on Thursdays, and live stream once a month on the top tier, as well as a download from me. It's a place people go and support my channel, which I appreciate so much. You can check it out up here. Boop. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get going with some Autumn Floral Friday practice. Okay, so we're going to go over supplies. I have a piece of Arch 100% cotton cold pressed paper. It's an 8x10. I have my Princeton 4 long round velvet touch series and my Princeton 10 round Neptune series. Paper towels, paints, water jars, and the paints are always in the description box, and I talk about what I use and how I mix them as we go along. So for this little exercise, we're just going to play around with just making simple kind of autumn flowers and leaves. I'll be starting with my number 10 brush, get some water on there. I'm going to grab my brilliant orange and I'm going to add a little magenta to it. My brush. I've got my cadmium yellow deep here. Put some of that over here. And I'll put some over here because I'm going to make some nice green. I like to make my greens. I don't like to have them out of the tube. Some over here too. And I use my peacock blue. Make a nice bright green. If I want to get a little bit darker, I'll add some Prussian blue. See how that changes? Yeah, a little burnt umber. You know? Or I could just have it the light green again with just the peacock blue and the yellow. And a little brown to that too. Alright, so for this orange I might add, I can make orange with the magenta and the yellow. See, it's a different type of orange, a little more muted. I'll add some brown to that. It's a little bright. I'll actually take that and I'll add some yellow to that. Playing around with orange, and you should do the same thing. Play around. Get a little deeper color here. So I'm just gonna make simple petals. We can start by making the center first, and I'm gonna start by doing that with grabbing some more yellow, putting that out here. Adding a little brown. So I get a bunch of like fall kind of colors here. So I'm just going to start by making like a simple center. See, make a mark, and it's got a fairly good amount of water here, and I'll leave a little white space. So it's kind of a curve and a curve. Simple like that. Now this is pretty wet, so I'm going to have to lift up some of this paint. I'm going to do another one over here. Kind of like a little ball with a little line next to it. See that? I'm going to let these dry just a touch. Then I'm going to grab my orange paint. I might mix up some more, actually. I need a good amount of paint. Grab some more yellow, some red, and some brown. And then I'm going to grab some more yellow too. A little bit more of this orange. That's still too intense, so I'm going to grab more brown here. A little too much brown, but that's okay. We'll work with it. A little more yellow and a little more orange. We need a lot of paint. Okay. And I always like to take off excess on the paper towel. And so this brush has got a great tip. And you're just going to kind of do this movement where you're pushing down and pulling back. See that? Down and pulling back, and you make those petals. Now see, it's wet, so it's bleeding to it. Pretty simple. It's like a nice kind of like sunflower type daisy. I'm not minding that it's bleeding into the center. We can always fix it later. And then push down here and do some smaller ones closer, right? curve it here, push down and kind of curve it, and then we do some small ones, just pushing it down and pulling out really fast. Once that dries, we're going to do another layer of petals, right? This guy's turned, so if we have to turn ourselves, we could do that. We could turn the paper, again, pushing down and kind of connecting it. Sometimes it helps if you turn the paper. So you just push down and pull up. You're pushing down, it's like this movement like this. Like it's just like that. Like I said, we're going to wait till it dries and we can go back in and add another layer. Meanwhile, I'm going to grab some of this greens we mixed up. The light green. Add some yellow. Add some more blue. I need to make up some more color. Okay. I'm going to just do this movement where you're going like this in a curve. And then I'm going to curve this way. Just like that. And then we're going to make a leaf, right? From here, you're going to go up and down. And then you're going to take the brush, wiggle, wiggle. Take the tip, push down, wiggle, wiggle. And then you're going to connect the whole color inside. That's how you make the leaf. So we'll do another one. Up and down, and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to the tip. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Connect the tip and just fill it in. While it's still damp, if you want to go ahead and add some deeper color, I'm going to add some more brown to this dark green. You can kind of bleed some of this darker color. It's pretty wet, so it's not bleeding like I want it to, but you get the idea. I'm going to bleed the tips. I had to push that one around because it was too dry there. So I'm going to manipulate it a little bit just by pushing my brush around. There we go. Take that same green, do like another swipe this way and out. We'll do like a closed up flower. So we're just making like, see that? Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Kind of like a circle, but not. A circle that's chopped off here. And then we're going to go add some little leaves kind of out from it. Like that. Again, put a little skinny strand like that. There. I think I'll add a little orange to it. It's still damp, so we'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, this is pretty, still wet. Let's see how it goes. Put another layer here. Kind of behind it. Add a little deep red. A deeper red orange. Just like that. And going over here, I'm going right on top of some of those petals. Just doing the same kind of movement. I might even get even darker, so I'll add some more magenta, that brilliant orange, a little brown, a little bit of yellow, less water too. See, get a little bit darker. Go back over here, kind of do the same thing. Push down and pull back. Just to make the simple blur. See, I'm doing some darker ones just right on top like that. All right, we're not going to fuss too much with that. Go back and grab my orange, and I'll put a couple of petals kind of peeking through here. All right, so at this point, you can still stick with the orange. Maybe start to grab some browns. I've got the burnt umber here. And I'm going to put a little of this neutral tint with it to make it deeper color. Still using this brush. Going to kind of cross over here, using the tip and coming down. Cross over here and come down. Oops. Do something out this way and kind of bring it down here. See that? I can do some wiggle lines, kind of connecting. I'm going to put some either leaves or berries. You can choose. Can do some purple berries or red berries. You can do a nice blue. I'll grab. I don't know. Red, purple, blue. I'm gonna grab my ultramarine blue I have here. A little Prussian blue. I'll do like deep blue berries. Combine the two blues. See how bright that is. Alright, I'm just going to do like simple little circles. If this brush is too big, you can go ahead and grab the number 4. And just do a bunch of clustered berries. Obviously circles. You can leave a little white halo around them. You see the berries? Kind of cluster them and leave a little white space in them. I'm kind of doing this really fast and loose. Put some more up here. See that? Cluster it a little bit. Same thing here. It's a little cluster. I got them going on that side. Maybe I'll put something. I'll have to figure out maybe a few like over here peeking through down here. Just like that. I'll go back in, take my brown, paint. Oops. Get this a little bit darker. Get the little berries. There we go. So for up here, I didn't put berries up here. I think I'll change that branch into something else. You can take the brush and put some nice brown leaves or gray leaves. I'm going to mix some of this gray color I have, this neutral tint with the brown. Just change this brown a little bit. Again, to leaves, I'm just going to push down. I need to make the paint a little bit looser. Pushing down and pulling back up, connecting it. You can kind of turn it. Use the tip, connect, and you get some pretty leaves. Nothing fancy. Maybe put that same kind of leaf out this way. You see I'm turning the paper, it's just easier. Just to kind of balance the picture. See? Add some more of this. Kind of tricky behind the flower. You don't want to paint over it. Same thing about this little bud. Kind of paint behind it. A little tricky. That's about the trickiest part. And you want to keep doing that. You're just going to have to just take your time painting around the stems. Because I just paint intuitively. I kind of paint as I go. So if that was meh, maybe not the way to go. And I'm gonna grab some of this brown, mix some cabin yellow deep. It's like a golden yellow. And we can do some more sprays out this way. Coming down. And then you can make some simple leaves like this. Just kind of bending down, connecting. See, push down, pull back. It's just the way you kind of like, it's floating down like that. And you get this simple design. Put some more of here. I'm gonna play around with that. Getting that color in here. Gonna go back to these guys. Right? Let's get them more defined. So, gonna add a little brown and that red brown, the orange, more like a brown red orange. And I'll take the little number 4 brush and I'll zoom in so you can see. And now I'm going to highlight around some of these petals. See? Take that brown color. And highlight just in the bottom area. See? I'm kind of just painting around the bottom, pulling it out to the sides, and a little bit in the middle. And then we go do the same thing here. The bottom. Kind of highlight around the edges. You can get even deeper if you want. I'm going to add a little black to that. Oops. Get even darker. Don't be afraid. Get a little bit darker there. See? You can even grab some more. I've got this black gouache and I put that neutral tint. Go right in here. Just kind of tapping. You see, I'm just kind of tap, tap, tap that color. Not everywhere, but on the edges. Right where they meet. You can do with brown too, dark brown. Sorry, that's making that noise. It's like a black, and I'm not doing it everywhere. Then you can take some brown, and some yellow, go in here. I'm going to kind of fill this in. A brownish, greenish yellow. Trying to emphasize the center more. I can go back in and grab just the cadmium yellow deep itself to highlight the center. Water this down a little bit. See, it's a little wet, but get that a little bit brighter. See how that changes a little bit? This is kind of bleeding a little too much, but I'm adding that yellow in to get just a little bit brighter. I'll show you another trick in a second, and you can also add that yellow kind of out in the tips out here to brighten that. Let's just stand out a little bit better. Zoom back out. And then the leaf, I'll take that darker green, kind of go in and add the veins. It's really loose. I'm going to add a little brown to my darker green and just get a little bit darker here where it's underneath the flower, casting a shadow, and back here, and then a leaf. If you want to wash that dark green down and just kind of put some of it here on the petal, you know it's bleeding that line I just did. I can go back in and add some deeper green. I felt like it needed to be darker, so I might just go in and kind of mush it around and come back in and put the lines in. This is kind of how I play with my paints and create the flowers. Get even deeper still if you want with that green. So I've mixed up some Prussian blue, that deeper green. I'm going to grab some yellow. Yeah, brown. Got a really nice deep green. See that? That's going to pop that flower. Put some of that deep green under here. It's behind those other layers of color. And put some like little marks. I'm going to wash that green down a little bit. Add some yellow, some brown. It's more of a medium green. Get it fairly wet. And then I'm going to put in some wash of color here to give this a little more dimension. It was just really flat. I'll add some on top too. I'm going to go in and grab some of this burnt umber and just put that in there too. See? It's going to pop right out. And it's kind of really simple. You don't have to get too crazy, right? You can kind of tweak your petals if you want them a little bit pointier. Add a little more orange. You can add some more sprays. See, like little fuzzy wheat sprays. So here I'll take that wheat color and just take the small brush. I'm just kind of pushing it out like this, right? I forget what those things are called. It's not really wheat, but it's, you know, you get the idea. And I like to do things in 3, so I'll put another one kind of peeking out this way. Yeah, I'm just going to play around. I can put like a little vein with the darker wheat color on some of these. And a leaf down here. So I'm going in and tweaking stuff now. Adding in another stem. Alright, so once that's done, I am going to take my white gouache. This is the gouache, this is my little tip. And you can take the gouache and you can mix it with your watercolor, the yellow. See? Now it's a really light yellow. I'm just going to tap right there. See how that highlights it? Tap, 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 tap. A little up here. It's going to highlight that flower center. It's going to change it. Right? It just changes it and just pops it right up. And then for the green leaf, we'll go back in with our dark green. We'll put in our veins. Make it pretty. The ones that we kind of washed away, we added back in. Grab some Prussian blue, make it even darker. And that's pretty much it. Just a little simple fall. You know, I might go in here and add just a little bit deep orange to tweak here, going towards the center of that like little open bud. Just a little bit. And you can just tweak these flowers just a little bit. But you get the idea. So that is today's Floral Friday practice. Let's see, hopefully you'll be much better than that. Sorry, you're missing some of the flowers there. But I showed you how to push down, pull up, and then you can go back in with those gray ones too and add a deeper gray line in the center. If you want, you don't have to. Just changes it. Every time you do things, it just changes it. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, I'm going to keep playing with this while I'm talking to you. Leave them in the comment section. Please don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial's up, because they're not always on time. And yeah, that's about it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And happy painting, guys. Just play with that brush, pushing down, pulling up, I'm going to go in here and add a little kind of darker tones. You know, this is kind of how I play around with flowers. It takes a little bit of time to get used to doing this, but you guys, I know you can do it. And there we go. So take care, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.